Hey everyone, it's Karen, and today I traveled all the way to Springfield to the coffee aesthetic place to meet Ice X Fan Coffee. So, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So, thank you again, and let's dive right into some questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the first question I have for him is, what first got you into music?
I'd say what first got me into music was originally when I was 12 years old. I was trying to learn acoustic guitar, electric guitar, playing different like Smoke on the Water riffs and different things like that, some of the classics. And then I really got into acoustic music because the girl I was into was like into Never Shout Never, which is, like if you're a millennial, that's very much like,
Yep.
the music back then. So then I got super into acoustic music, and then I tried to like do music in high school and tried that. And then after a bit, I was like, if I can't make a career out of music in high school, I'll go to college. So then I went to college, went to college twice, and then came up out of that. And then after getting into my job, I ran into another person that was really into music. And it really inspired me to get back into it. So then I started listening to like more a diverse range of artists. Post Malone was a huge inspiration. Death Grips, 100 Gex. And then after listening to 100 Gex, I was like, this is amazing. This music is so good. I need to learn how to make this in a DAW and just do it and go for it. So then I started making music in GarageBand, and then kind of from there I just kept making music.
Nice. Yeah, I like Post Malone too, so.
Yeah, I just got to see him last summer in the Ozarks. So, but what really inspired me about his music was I heard him playing in Italy when he was playing his acoustic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just playing acoustic music, and it made me like see his music in a completely different light. And I was like, this guy is just an amazing artist, and that's what I wanted to be, was like have that same like energy,
Right, that makes sense. All right, so for our next question I have is, who inspired you to make music?
I would definitely say, like my if I were to go top 3 artists right now, I would say 2 Hollis, 100 Gex, and then Post Malone for sure. There was a point where I was going back into like doing acoustic stuff, but then I kind of swapped over to the electronic scene. I still enjoy acoustic covers, and I love Tiny Desk concerts from like NPR and stuff.
Yep.
But like who really inspired would be like 100 Gex for me mainly. But mainly there's 100 Gex is comprised of 2 artists, and that's Dylan Brady and Laura Les. And I really, really fuck heavy with Dylan Brady. Oh. Are we allowed to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
No. Yeah. We get to be ourselves on this show as long as we don't like bash other people.
Cool.
Yep. You can act however you want to. I want you to be you on all of my shows. So.
Sick.
All right. Next question I have for you is, how would you describe the music that you typically create?
Yeah. I've been calling it Midwest laptop music.
Okay.
So a lot of like the Midwest scene, or like the Missouri scene, a lot of people like make hardcore music, or they'll make Midwest emo.
Yes.
And I think that's like what people kind of recognize and understand as music in this area.
Yeah.
But like where it originally founded from was hyperpop, was my main inspiration.
Okay.
And not a lot of people know what hyperpop is.
I actually don't. So, and please inform me. Let's go.
Yeah. So hyperpop, 100 Gex was one of the main founders of hyperpop. You can go back to A.G. Cook, which was one of the other artists from Britain that like founded PC music, and they just make really unique electronic music. And so from that genre, there were a bunch of different artists that were making just like music on their laptops, GarageBand, whatever they were doing.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like when I think of like dubstep, like the original
I love
era,
dubstep. Yes.
I love dubstep. Skrillex was one of those artists that
and them too.
Yeah. So yeah, like Skrillex promoted like the original dubstep, and like from him it was like a lot of electronic music kind of bolstered out. But Dylan Brady one of the artists from 100 Gex, works a lot with Skrillex now. And so it's kind of one of those things where like it's homemade music that's like on your laptop, and it's artists that don't typically get seen or recognized. So I just really like the scene because it's like people expressing themselves in a way that's unique and is different. So I'd say my origin story is like hyperpop, but I've been describing my music as Midwest laptop music.
I like that idea because, like you said, because I've lived in Missouri my whole life too, so I know everybody's little bands that they like to choose and stuff. It's normally, rock and roll, anything else, but your music I had actually never heard of until here last year, a couple months ago, and I'm really glad that I did because, again, I'm big into music, and most everybody on here should know this by now. If you don't, you do now. Just finding new music and genres to listen to is amazing. So thank you for showing me all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next question is, what is your creative process like?
Usually what's kind of interesting about my creative process is I've been getting into a point where I just listen for unique samples and unique sounds and different things and like creating new sounds. A lot of it just kind of spawns from like hearing the sounds that I find and being like, oh, I really like this sound. I'm going to try and make a track out of that, or I'm going to make this snare sound a certain way. And so like, most of the time I'm trying new things. I like stutter effects on like vocals and different things like that. I like making new basses. I like hearing new sounds. And I think that's why I like the electronic music scene in general, is because it's like you can put a dog bark sound in your song and then it like make it like unique, or you can take other people's songs and remix them. So for me, my creative process tends to look like, oh, let me find this song or like this sample or this sound. Then I create like a melody, and then I go from that melody to just making the whole song. And then after that, I then just kind of put lyrics to it, whatever I'm feeling, and then it like make it happen,
Nice, yeah. That makes sense about being able to just put random sounds in there. That's really cool. I do like that. Not different, unique, and because everybody else, it's just one same tone or whatever and anything on all the other songs and stuff, but like with you have it all over the place. I love it.
And that's what I love about it, is it's experimental. Like you get to add your unique twist on things. On my upcoming album, I added just like frogs like croaking and stuff. So and like I like all genres of music, and so getting to incorporate multiple different genres into an album is really cool. I have some like trap metal / reggae involved in the next one.
Oh, nice. And I gotta listen to that one.
I'm really excited about it. But it's like what I think the thing that like really inspired me is like genre bending and not being limited to one scope of one thing.
Yep.
So
that's why I like your music, because like you said, it's everything. You can do everything and put yourself into it. You don't have to like mock other people. Like with rock and roll, it's literally just one tune that in most bands that I've noticed anyways, they just use kind of one tune or whatever, but then try to make it sound a little different. But to me, it doesn't really, I hear it in every song.
Yeah.
With you, I don't hear nothing. It's all new stuff, and I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so the next question I have is, who would you most like to collaborate?
There's a couple of artists I'd love to collaborate with. Obviously, for me, if I could ever collaborate with Dylan Brady, that would be like a dream come true. But other artists that I really enjoy are Fraxium, Frost Children. Dylan Brady's from St. Louis, and Frost Children are also from Missouri. So I guess a lot of electronic artists just kind of come from the Midwest, and then they go out to wherever they go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dylan Brady, Frost Children, Fraxium, would love to do something with her. And then this March, I'm pretty excited to be releasing a collaboration with Glitch Gum.
Ooh,
so
okay.
He's a Nashville-based artist, and
nice.
He's just really has a good ear for hyper pop music and also just music in general. So yeah, I'm super excited to work with him just because he's an amazing, talented artist.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, I like being able to collab with other like places. How you said Nashville and Tennessee, all that, because I'm trying to go to like Florida and stuff for all my models and podcasts for all that. So yeah, I feel like everybody that is creators just need to be in one state.
Oh, for sure. Completely agree. That way we don't have to drive all the way out to all these different places. That's just let's all agree on one spot. I feel like a lot of people are like, well, just make it LA or just make it California or whatever. But no, like, why don't we make it the Missouri? Because we're in the center.
Right.
I don't know.
And like, I don't know. I'm really big, as most of y'all know, I'm really big into like wood, like, obviously I grew up in Missouri, so it's nothing but woods and trees here. Like forest, you just always go in there and just kind of relax. But honestly, that is really good for people's mental health and stuff. Being able to be outside and be in nature instead of like fast paced LA stuff like that. That's not going to be able to help you be so creative. Like that's going to make you want to go faster. Being able to just relax. That to me is more creative. I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
So, all right, I have another question, and it is, if you could go open a show for any artist, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we were talking about Post Malone earlier.
Yes.
I would love to open for Post Malone. There's a different band called Dury, and they have an artist named Austin. My name is Austin, and so not only that, but Post Malone's name is Austin.
Yes.
So I thought, hey, why don't we all get all of us to do a show in Austin and call it like Austin and see if they would want to do it. But I don't know if that's going to happen ever just because Post Malone's not into electronic music. But it's all different genres. I feel like it'd pull a lot of different people. So maybe one day. I don't know.
I mean, Post Malone does do 2 different genres too, so I mean he could soak up some of your little electronics into just one song. Just one, yeah.
Like I know you like country right now, but like why not just do a couple more electronic songs with me? Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
You might expand and find something new. Like
exactly. Yeah.
You gotta try.
I'm gonna put myself out there. We'll have to see if we can make it happen.
Cool.
I was mentioning Dury. Dury is also another awesome inspiration for me. I know there's like a lot of people that are like, oh, well, you need to be a young artist like 2019 to become be able to go on to do something. And like, there's a lot of artists that are in their 30s that are trying to make music or like have been trying to make music. And so they're also a huge inspiration for me as well. So
I like how you brought that up because I always feel like you have to be a certain age for anybody to want you, accept you, whatever.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, if you're not like younger, they're not going to want someone 30, 40, like older and stuff. But honestly, I feel like the older people is who you're going to want, like your 30s, because we have our heads screwed on. we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And like all the new kids, they're just all about like, and again, I'm not bashing. Don't think that. But like the new kids, they haven't lived life. They haven't been through enough to actually feel more creative and stuff. I don't know. I believe hiring someone older, they're more mature. They're not going to cause problems. And that's because one big thing that you don't need within business is problem causing person. So
yeah,
I like that.
And I think the thing about it is like, just recognizing like art is art, and like
right.
It doesn't matter your age or your background or where you're like, it's like I've met so many amazing artists over the years that are like older as well, like in their 40s, 50s, 60s that make amazing music. I've also met artists that are really young and are also doing amazing things too. And so like I think the biggest thing that I take away from that is like if you are older and you do have more experience helping those that are younger artists. Yep. And if you are a younger artist or you're starting to see some traction and growth, mentioning out to people that have helped you. So right. I think just in general, I feel like artists should just be helping each other out no matter where you're at or like what you're doing,
Yeah, I completely agree because actually the whole reason why I'm going back to college is to hopefully be able to get a building big enough that I'm going to try to have, each room is going to, obviously the first floor is going to be my level of all of my art stuff, because I do painting, photography, stuff like that, but also I want to be able to help artists of everybody. So like upstairs, I plan on trying to have rooms with like background drops. So all photographers and models go to that room. All musicians, anybody have a studio like all set up for them in another room.
Yeah.
And or on probably a different level, because they're going to be a little bit louder and the models might not want all that. So, but yeah, that's my big thing, is getting people's talents out there. And that is why I love doing this and helping people. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Let's move along to the next question. Is what is one message you would give to your fans?
Man, I love that question, actually. I would say don't put so much pressure on it that you're not able to enjoy the process. I think ultimately, with my personality type, I tend to like do like, what's the next goal? What's the next objective? How can I get to this next thing? And I think it's good to have a plan. I think it's good to like follow through and do the things that you're wanting to do. Mm-hmm. But not at the expense of enjoying where you're currently at and what you're doing and like the people you're with and the shows that you get to do or the music you get to make. I still look back at some of the things I've made and I go, man, I could have done some better production value on some of those other pieces, or I've definitely had some shows in the past where I was like, that was a rough show.
Right.
But like, it's really all part of the process. It's all part of learning and getting to make cooler or even better music, or getting to make new friends and different things like that. And so I think my biggest thing is don't not do it because you aren't going to be able to make high level studio music. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many labels and industries that are like going to have all this technical equipment that's going to produce what is industry standard music. Mm-hmm. But like, even though you can't necessarily do that with what you have, just work with what you have and just make music for the sake of making it for yourself, and then make music not for other people legitimately. If you're trying to like chase fame or chase like whatever, I feel like I could talk about the music industry and how that's going to be a challenging thing. So like, but to me, I would say focus on like the actual music itself and like let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I like the beginning of what you said of do stuff for you, not for everybody else, and just learn as you go.
Yeah, well, because I have a lot of people that will like listen to my music and go, oh man, could you make some acoustic music? I love your acoustic guitar work and stuff. Yeah. Or even like, do you like making music like hardcore or like maybe even rock music? And I'm like, yeah, I could make some of that, mm-hmm. but like, I just like what I'm making and what I'm doing. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people that have definitely offered suggestions, and I take critiques and stuff. I think that's part of being an artist, is getting critiques and stuff, but like at the same time, like just do what you want to do.
Yep. Completely agree with that. All right, move along to the next question. Is what is the most useless talent you have?
Oh gosh. I don't know if I can I don't know if this will work or not, but I can play the hand flute.
Oh, okay.
The hand flute. We'll see. Let me see if I can get the microphone set up here so we can try it. I don't know if it'll work. All right.
Let's see.
It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, is it?
That's insane. I've never even heard anybody do that before. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's but no one ever really goes to a concert for like a hand flutist or hand flautist, if you will. So I don't know, but yeah, I do have one artist that was a huge inspiration that does play hand flute professionally, and you should definitely check him out. But yeah, that I'd say that's probably one of those times.
I mean, you can incorporate that tone. You can just record that and then put it in your music.
Yeah, I might have to hand flute at some point in some of my stuff.
Yep. All right, next question is, do you sing in the shower? What songs?
You know, I actually don't really sing in the shower anymore. I don't know. So I live in an apartment, and I feel like if I sing too loud,
Yep.
that other people are going to hear me.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know. I just kind of, I be thinking. I have shower thoughts. That's just like,
Yeah.
like what I do. But
I
I do like have songs in my head all the time, though.
That's good. All right, next question is, what would you be doing right now if it wasn't for your music career?
Well, I would be trying to pursue being a professional Rocket League esport athlete.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I'm getting pretty good at my flip resets right now. And yeah, I'm almost a grand champion, which is like the second highest rank in Rocket League, SSL being like the highest. So we're making the climb. We're trying. We're doing our best there. So I'd probably play Rocket League a lot.
That's good. All right, next question is, where have you performed? What are your favorite and least favorite venues?
Ooh.
Do you have any upcoming shows? Which he actually brought up. You come with an album, so.
Yeah. Okay, this one. This one's kind of a loaded question with like Springfield scene stuff.
All right.
But my favorite venue right now is the Fungin. It's a DIY venue that I played last weekend. It's run by a couple of guys that are just really into music and are really inspirational. And so I played there recently, and we packed out the basement completely. Like,
oh, nice.
Shoulder to shoulder. People were like literally listening from outside, and like cars were like parked for blocks,
Nice.
right? To the point where like some people almost got towed, which I mean, that just kind of happens with
Yeah.
DIY music or whatever. But like that place, they have amazing bass. The sound sounds so cool. They have like fog machines and lights and stuff. And it's just like, it's just a local staple in the Springfield community for DIY artists.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a brand new venue that just opened up called Moontown Sound.
Oh.
And they are dedicated to helping newer artists as well. And so I appreciate those guys, mainly just because like there is not a whole lot of music scene venues here in Springfield that are willing to host like different styles of music.
Right.
There's still Moon City Pub, which I have yet to play and would love to play at. Mothers, they're awesome. And then there's also Lindbergh's, which is another great staple in the community. There's a couple of major label or big scene stages in Springfield, but I'm not going to go into it too much.
Right.
I would say that they are my least favorite in Springfield, though.
Yeah, I could tell why. Again, I'm from Missouri, so I know Springfield stuff, so I'm catching his vibe. You all probably aren't. All right, so the next question I have is, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Wow. I feel like I could go for hours on this topic.
Yeah.
I love that. I think the biggest thing is it's given so much opportunity to music. Like, it's been so good because not only are you getting to like connect with other artists from different places like Nashville, or because we're all not in one state and not able to all connect.
Right.
But like, it also allows you to really share your music and get it out to people that normally wouldn't be able to get to hear your music. You get to learn a lot more things. You can do a lot more things, downloading more, like for me, it's downloading sound samples and different things like that people might have created. So like, to me, I feel like the internet does a huge and amazing thing, but it's kind of a double-edged sword. You have like on the same flip side, you have like more people stealing more people's art. You have people having like AI creating and generating music to a point where it's so saturated now that like it's really hard to get your stuff out. And because anyone can share music, it is extremely saturated. So it's like, on the flip side, being able to get out there is nice, but it's also it's almost like cheapened music to the point where it's like, oh, you make music, so does my brother, so does my sister, so does my, and like, I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing, and I like accessibility. It's just, it definitely makes it a lot harder for people to connect with your music when everyone's making music. So
yeah, no, I completely agree with you how it's a double-edged sword. Like, yes, it's really helpful because if you actually think about the history of music and stuff, like the Beatles didn't have the internet at all. So,
yeah,
but now we have the internet and stuff, and it is a lot easier, as you said, to get samples and stuff, but also it's really bad because now anybody can take your stuff and claim it as their own, or like you said, they're making new programs that are so much easier that anybody can make music, and it's taken away from the people with true talent, and I can't handle that either. So like me as an artist, they're using AI for art. I can't handle that. Like I grew up pencil, paper, color pencils, crayon, whatever. Like we didn't have all this AI generated stuff, and to me, honestly, I feel like it's cheating. I never really liked AI, but also, yes, there is some small, to me, benefits of having AI. So.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, I think AI, like, I'm not going to be, like, fully against AI.
Right.
With just being a software developer and also, like learning more about how it can be a tool. I think that's the thing, is that it's a tool and that it just doesn't just become the thing that just creates it completely.
Right.
Like there's like, it's nice when you can have like tools along the way to help you shape and create sounds. But I think whenever you have it completely generate the entire thing and not add any skill, and you're just like, type in, I'd like this electronic song, please, based off this, and then just pushing the button and then it creating it for you.
Right.
I don't really find the art in that. But you know, people have different opinions on it. I definitely, whenever I hear that there's a completely generated AI artist, I try to point that out to people, and I try to show like, this person's not real, and they have millions of streams because of all the bots and industry that you have. And so like smaller artists that are actually making music very much go unnoticed. So it's tough. And I think what's funny is seeing society, how it changes over time with that. Because like at first it was like, oh, well, it's just art. It can just generate art. And then it was like, they'll never reproduce music. They'll never reproduce video. And then once it starts invading those industries, people were like, oh, AI is so bad. And then it's like, so you didn't care about the artist before? You didn't care about like graphic design or like different things. So to me, it's funny because it's like, it doesn't really impact you until it impacts you.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists, I know some drummers have been making jokes about how there's drum looping machines and how they've been replaced by, it's like, well, you've always had drum looping machines. You should just get used to it or whatever. I'm like, so I mean, really, it does kind of come down to like, it doesn't impact you until it impacts you, and people tend to not like advocate for others. And I think for me, it's like, I want to advocate for artists. I want to advocate for people being able to have tools and not having to fight industry. But also, I don't like that industry is just cutting the artist out of the art completely. So
I'm backing you up on that completely. So, cool. All right. Next question I have is, what is your favorite song to perform?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so right now I have two. Billionaire Party is a song that I wrote recently, and it was like me just like kind of getting out my energy of being like, it's a dark toned song, but it's got some cheerful notes in it. So it's kind of like got this idea of like what I imagine living life like a billionaire would be. And that song is like one of my most popular because it has a really heavy bass and it's just got eerie tones to it. And so quite a bit different than people are used to hearing. And I love performing it because it's like kind of like my anthem of being like, we need to eat the billionaires. We need to like eat the rich. And it's getting to a point where it's like really bad societally, and like we're in a second Great Depression essentially. And like so at this point, it's kind of one of those things where like I love playing that song because it's like my number one song, and everyone really gets in with like singing along with it and stuff. But also just that's like everyone sings and like knows the song, and like I play it pretty much at every show. But other than that song, I have a new song that I just recently wrote called Type Shit. And it's really fun because I've never had moshing happen at my show just because it's electronic music.
Yep.
This song is very aggressive and very like bass forward and bass heavy. Kind of got some inspiration from trap metal for it. And I had my first mosh pit at the last show I performed at with that song, and so to me it was a really exciting moment to see people just like getting into it and like going crazy. So yeah, I'd say Type Shit hasn't released yet, but I've only played it once, and it was one of my favorite songs to perform. So
yep, being able to get people involved and them loving it, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, next question is, which famous musician do you admire?
Oh, okay.
Besides Post Malone.
Besides Post Malone and besides Dylan Brady, since I've already kind of mentioned them,
right.
I would say, honestly, this is going to be a kind of weird poll, but the Beach Boys.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so what's interesting is like you had one brother that was at home called Brian, and he was literally just making music. And then the rest of his brothers were touring while he was making music.
Yep.
So he was like this like introverted, like really like focused on the music aspect, and like just like some were saying like this dude is a musical genius. And I just loved that like he had no background. When the Beach Boys started getting more famous, he got access to more things, and then people were like, oh, he's a talented musician and he can actually lead things. And so like you have like Brian, who's just like this brains of like making the art and the music behind the Beach Boys. And then the Beach Boys are amazing performers and stuff, but like I just really admire Brian's like DIY all the way through up until he got into the industry, and then he started making like industry standard hits. So yeah, I'd say he's an inspiration to me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a little bit about them. I didn't know all the way because, again, I haven't studied that much about them. But I actually like that idea, staying solitude, away from everybody. That helps you be able to like think about your art, compared to his brothers were actually like, seems like showcasing like us and stuff like that. So they were more like, hey, social, and the other one's like, no, I'll help y'all to the side.
And that's what's funny.
And I like that.
Yeah, and that's like, for me, I'm super extroverted, and I
kind of same.
Yeah, but I also like having those times where I'm able to just be by myself and make music and stuff. So it's like, I liked both aspects of it. I just can appreciate when someone is in their craft and doing what they want to do.
Yep.
But I love both sides of it. I love being at a show and people moshing and just getting to feel that energy and like be there. But I also like the musical aspect where you're just like just making the music and like just being like getting to hear the sounds, discover new sounds, be creative, you know?
Yep. I agree with that. All right. A couple more questions and then we're going to wrap this up really quick. So we have, what is the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Well, I mean, you all almost got everybody towed last Saturday, so
that's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's start off with that.
Yeah.
Everybody getting towed almost.
Yeah, I'd say definitely trying to avoid shutting places down at the moment is what I'm trying to do. That's probably the worst extent of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and not shut places down. Is what I'm trying to do.
All right, we have 3 more questions and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
The other one is, what is the best advice you've been given?
Ooh. I would say for me, the best advice I've been given is like, I've worked with Glitch Gum before, and what was really cool was getting to hear him talk about my music when I showed it to him, and he was like, oh, I loved your music, I loved your sounds, here's some things you could do to improve making your music, and like what I would, but like otherwise, like I just really liked hearing your stuff. And I think what's really cool is like getting to hear advice from a person that actually makes the same type of music. and like can actually offer you assistance. Like it's one thing, I'm not saying that you can't get advice from all people, but it's kind of one of those things where like try and seek out people in your genre and try and get advice from them. People being like, oh, you need to make your drums a little bit louder, or it's not like loud enough in the mix, or this is why it's not really packed, like hitting that same tone. Like you need to get the kick to dip or duck whenever you're playing your music, so that way you can hear the kick drum a little bit louder. It's different things like that. So I would say my best advice given was like buy glitch gum on some of the music that I was working on.
Nice. Yeah. I like that, being able to have someone that in your own craft, like you said, they know how to talk your lingo and all that, compared to other people. They're just like, oh, it sounds bad, you need to do this. Right. Well, you don't have no experience, so I'm not talking to you. I'm listening to you.
Exactly. And it like you kind of just gotta let some things roll off your shoulders, because like there's always going to be people that are going to give you advice on what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing.
Yep. So. All right, next question is, if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Loaded question.
Wow. Again, this is another topic that I could go on for hours, but I would say the biggest thing that I would change is how AI is implemented, and I would also change how much artists are getting paid for the things they're doing, even if AI wasn't incorporated. How much? Because like if there was no AI, the industry is still really focused on how much can people be making at shows? How much do you sell merch? How much can you fill out a stadium? And a lot of the labels aren't willing to take chances on artists anymore, and you're not able to hear as many artists because it's not profitable for artists. Because whenever you put a song on Spotify or just a different streaming service, you're getting 0.0001 cent for every stream, and even the big artists that are getting 500,000 streams are like reporting like sales earnings of like $30 a month or different things like that. So like every artist has a day job.
Yeah.
It's like it just is what it is.
Right.
And like unless you're a Post Malone or Taylor Swift selling out merch, selling out like these like, and I'm not saying that they didn't put in all the effort that they did. I'm not like, there's nothing, like I'm not bashing on any of that, but it's also being realistic and understanding like there's a lot of artists that that might have a rich family member that might be helping them do whatever they're doing, or they do have a day job and they are trying to just make music in their spare time. And so it's just kind of being like, just be doing what you're doing and don't have expectations. And I'd say I would love to see the industry change and actually paying artists more so that they could do their craft more. But that's, I don't know how to like completely make that happen, but that's what I'd like to see.
I agree. I would try to help you with that too, because that's a good idea. So,
thank you.
All right. Our last question is, what's next for you? I know, again, you mentioned a little bit that you have an album and a few gigs coming up. So, but what else?
What else is next? So I think for me, I've really been trying to focus on my production value. I've really been trying to focus on getting out to more cities, getting out to and touring more. I'm kind of like you mentioned, I'm hoping to release an album here soon, do more collaborations. And I think a goal of mine I would love to do is play on a like late night show of some sort at some point. SNL would be the dream. If I could ever be with like one of those like the bands in between sets and stuff, because my favorite part of SNL is like all the people hugging it out at the end and like they're like all friends and stuff. But that's the goal. I think I mean ultimately I just kind of do what I do, and I like making friends along the way and like putting on shows for a lot of different people. So I think what's next for me is like doing touring. I'm going to be going to hopefully to Chicago, Nashville, all over the Midwest, and then just releasing more music and hopefully collaborating with cool artists.
Nice. All right. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure you're going to get all that accomplished. And once you meet Post Malone, you better hit hit me up
Oh yeah.
so I can come
Oh,
watch
for
that
sure.
show.
For sure. I feel like one day if I could get a tattoo with Post Malone, that'd be like
Yes.
that'd be like tops, you know?
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you, Ice Coffee, for coming on to the show today. I really appreciate it.
yeah.
And thank you all for joining us. I hope that you all had learned something. Make sure that you check out his music. I will be commenting all his music links and everything down below, promoting him nonstop as usual. So thank you all for joining. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Okay.